AI is making us dumber, and not just in the ways we previously thought. Up till now, when we've talked about AI making us dumber collectively, usually what we're referring to is people not learning skills that historically they would have because they're relying on AI to do certain things for them, like college kids using AI for all their coursework. And yes, this includes critical thinking. But guess what? It actually gets worse. Because not only does AI make it so that you're not learning those skills, new research suggests that it's also making you unlearn those skills that you previously knew. I'm calling it now. Soon there's going to be an offshoot to the skill issue insult referring to deskillification, which is a concept that we now have to worry about. Yippee! They looked at the deskillification of doctors, specifically in identifying cancerous cells. And by the way, the 19 doctors that they looked at were highly experienced. They basically looked at whether or not using AI for a stretch of time would affect their skills without using AI. So they looked at them 3 months before exposure to AI and 3 months after, and they found a relative decrease of 20% in their skills. The rate of identification before exposure to AI was 28.4%, and the rate after was around 22%, which doesn't sound like a lot because it's an absolute decrease of 6%. But again, this was over a short amount of time, and one of the researchers is quoted as saying like, hey, if it's for a longer time, it's probably gonna get worse. Also, an over 20% decrease in one's own skills is absolutely a problem, especially if you're a highly experienced expert in the field. Some people are going to say, well, 28.4 is not a very high rate of identification. AI can probably do better, and you're probably right. The problem is, and I mean, there's a lot of problems with this, but one of the big problems is AI is not perfect, and you need human experts to be able to recognize when AI is messing up. Also, AI is at least partially trained on human expertise. In like scientific settings, it's a little different than LLMs. It's not just based on previously produced human work product. And of course, an AI can be great and very accurate one day, but things happen, and not just like tech issues. Information can be introduced to the data set that confuses things. Sure, maybe we have enough experts this generation to identify when AI is going all wonky, but what about the next generation? The ones who are getting through college and medical school with AI? Who's going to train them on the human expertise that is now being lost to AI? I'm not saying we shouldn't use a tool that results in better outcomes, obviously. I'm just saying that we need to start thinking about how to work around some of these risks. And reminder, while this study looked at the deskillification of medical doctors, which is probably the scariest example they could have started with, this deskillification issue probably applies across the board. So not only are people not learning skills when they use AI, people who use AI for certain things and excuse it by saying, well, I already know how to do this, so I don't need to practice it, it just saves time or whatever, you're also losing those skills actively and rapidly, which by the way, shouldn't surprise you. I talked about this in a very theoretical sense months ago. And yes, by the way, this does go for critical thinking skills too. Chat, are we cooked?